Okay, so with this lesson, we're going to be looking at interpreting and analyzing data. This is the last session for Unit 6, right? So it's a pretty brief session. We won't take too long on this. Just looking at how after we represent our data visually, we then have to interpret and analyze the data. Okay, so we're going to look at certain things, specific things on our graphs, on our tables, okay, which is going to be used for interpreting what's happening, what are the relationships that exist, what are some of the conclusions we can draw from the data that we have now plotted on our scatter plot. Okay, so we're going to use percentages. Percentages are good in comparing the data, okay, comparing relationships, okay. We're going to use the actual sample or population values, okay, to just give an indication of the size, okay, population values. Okay, we're also going to use look at the trends, okay, to see what's happening in terms of is the relationship direct relationship, is it an indirect relationship, is the relationship a strong relationship? Remember, we had the strong positive correlation, or is it a weak relationship where there's no correlation, or is it negative correlation, okay, where you've got your indirect correlation, okay. We're going to use all of that in terms of interpreting the data, okay. So on page 196, okay, it goes on to say what was the size of the sample, what was the sample randomly chosen and representative, what methods were used to collect the data, and did the collector remain neutral and impartial? Was the data collected fact or opinion? How was the data organized and grouped? Which measures of central tendency and spread were used? Okay, so these are the type of questions that you have to have at the back of your mind when you are interpreting the data, because this is going to have an effect of whether the data might be biased. You know, the data might not, because it's biased, we can't really draw conclusions from it, because maybe the person who was collecting the data was part of the sample, okay. We don't know what agenda they could have had. Maybe they've skewed the data in some way, okay. So all of these questions are needed to be asked in order to interpret the data thoroughly, okay. So it goes on to say that data can be used and manipulated to favor an argument or circumstance. So that is why we have to really look at, you know, how was the data collected, who is the one collecting the data, so we make sure that it hasn't been manipulated in any way. Okay, so we'll go straight to the worked examples. So we go to the first one, which gives us a table of allocations of state expenditure as a percentage of government spend. So in the table, okay, I'll just do the first part of the table. All right, the page number is always in the corner. Okay, I'll stop this video and start a new one for you.